When you think of Ronaldinho, you think about playing bare feet on the beaches of Rio. You think about the futsal days. You think about them classic Nike adverts. He put the jogger in Jogger Bonito. But his downfall has been truly tragic, filled with criminal activity and allegations of scams. So stay tuned for this video. You know it's bad when Sonny V2's doing documentaries on you.
Countless legal problems, half a year in prison, and a bank account holding less than $7. Sadly, Ronaldinho's golden retirement has instead been a total train wreck. He was worth $90 million when he retired in 2015.
Yeah, it was no secret Ronaldinho liked to party and splash the cash and all that. You know, in one of the contracts he signed for a club, he would only sign that contract if it stipulated he was allowed to go to nightclubs and parties and whatnot and have a good time. Forget training, mate. He's going nightclubs. But, yeah, to get through 90 million in 9 years, them parties must have been fucking stupendous, spectacular, extravagant. Forget chocolate fondues or fountains or whatever they're called. There must have been liquid gold coming out of them. You know, he must have been fucking drinking from diamond-encrusted glasses. Like, I mean, that sounds lavish, but I mean, 90 million. What, I mean, where's that money gone?
He was absolutely atrocious at handling his money.
Stow me. Who was looking after his money? Don Bloody King.
While stopping Ronaldinho's partying was basically impossible, as he even negotiated a nightclub clause into one of his contracts, allowing him to party at least 2 nights per week.
I mean, that's unheard of now, but that's how good Ronaldinho was. Like, the agent was like, steps to the club and says, listen, he'll sign for your club, but he's got to party at least 2 times a week. They're like, yep, whatever, yep, no worries, make it 4 times a week. I tell you what, just let him turn up to the fucking matches. As long as he's playing on that Saturday, I don't care.
Incredibly, he wound up breaking the contract, as 2 nights of partying simply wasn't enough.
What a man, what a guy. You know, 2 times a week ain't good enough for him. You know, he wants every day of the week. Fuck it, like I said, let him just turn up on a Saturday, rat arse, they still fucking score a hat trick. If that was me now, fucking hell, when I go out on a Saturday, I'll get once a week, I'll get rat arse, and then I need a month to recover, mate.
Justifying his actions by stating, a football player has to have a normal life.
What an absolute legend. Like, you know, like for a normal person barely goes out once a month, let alone once a week. But oh, Big Ron wants to go out 3-4 times a week. That's a normal life for him. That Brazilian lifestyle, mate, you can't beat it.
Without a consistent training regimen, Ronaldinho began to experience constant injuries.
Injuries? Is that what we're calling it now, are we? Can we just be honest here and say he was absolutely rat-arsed? You know, turning up to the game, 2 birds he's just pulled from the night before. Check his water bottle, I bet it's fucking loaded with Dom Perignon, mate.
Ronaldinho helped carry Brazil to a World Cup win.
Yeah, I remember that World Cup 2002 like it was yesterday. It was Ronaldinho at his very best. You saw the step-overs. He definitely put the Bonito in Jogger Bonito. He's scoring from 45 yards against England. He was sublime that World Cup. And he did go on to win Ballon d'Ors. Let's not forget that. So no matter how pissed he was and all the parties he had, he was fucking class, man.
But he now had $90 million to retire very comfortably.
Right, so this is the interesting part now. So how has he lost all this $90 million retirement fund? Spent half a year in jail for some reason. Yeah, other scams. So yeah, this part we're going to see him go through literally a downfall now, and utter.
He'd hire his brother Roberto to be his manager.
Yeah, you see this often, like, you see, like, you know, I'm going to make one of my family members manager because, you know, I trust them fully, they ain't going to screw me over. Yeah, that's the case, definitely the case, I agree with that, you know, but just because he's your brother, don't mean he knows how to manage $90 million and where to invest it, do you know what I mean? It's mad, that I find that philosophy mad. I love my brother, I trust him with my life. Would I trust him with $90 million to invest? Mate, I wouldn't trust him to run a bath.
from the house he built a wharf and dock without realizing it was totally illegal. As a result, he was fined 1.7 million US dollars, although Ronaldinho refused to pay. It was then revealed he also owed a further $2 million in unpaid property taxes.
So yeah, this is where it becomes very problematic for Ronaldinho. So his brothers invested that money in properties, bought 57 properties. One of these properties they've decided to build a port on, which turns out to be illegal. So they get fined $1.5 million for that. Then he gets fined another $2 million for not paying property taxes. He refused to pay the fine on the port, so he owes $4 million. I mean, and this is what I mean when you put your brother as a manager. It's risky business, you know. Who is he? It sounds like it's saying out of Only Fools and Horses when Del Boy's Tony Angelino's manager. If you've seen that episode, great episode. But it sounds like Del Boy's the manager, like saying Del Boy would do, yeah, buy all these properties, fuck paying the taxes. Nah, you don't need to pay taxes. Only Blancas pay taxes.
And as a result, Ronaldinho has had 57 properties seized.
I think we can safely say that's where some of that 90 million retirement fund's gone. So his brothers probably invested it in all these properties, and because now he don't want to pay this and he don't want to pay that, they've come in and seized 57 of these properties. If that ain't Del Boy consequences for you, I don't know what is. And in the words of Del Boy, what a plonker, Ronaldinho. What a plonker you truly are.
And his Brazilian and Spanish passports confiscated over unpaid taxes and fines. Ronaldinho haggled the fishing fine down to 1.5 million, but ultimately still failed to pay, leading the Brazilian government to permanently take he and his brother's passports.
So, Ronaldinho, man, what are you doing? So he's haggled it down. He said, look, I'll pay if you haggled it down to 1.7 million or whatever they said. And they're like, yeah, fine, no worries. We'll haggle it down for you. You are the great Ronaldinho. We'll do that for you. And you can't fuck about with the Brazilian authorities. They ain't fucking about. They're coming through to take all your dough, mate. But he's haggled it down and he still didn't want to pay it. So what Brazil have done, the Brazilian authorities have done, they've taken his passports away. Now, you got to watch this next bit, because I'm just going to say this. Even his lawyer said he's a very stupid man, talking about Ronaldinho. His own lawyer. Watch.
Now, this was extra inconvenient, as they wanted to take a holiday down to Paraguay. So they devised a genius plan. Create a fake Paraguay passport for one of Brazil's most famous people, known for playing on the Brazilian national team. As he tried.
So on his brother's genius plan, his brother, the manager, they've decided to get fake passports. Now, Ronaldinho is one of the most unique looking football players you're ever gonna see. He's got eyes like this. I mean, I ain't got the best of teeth, but hanging out his mouth like that. Like a big old jaw. And he's got fucking long curly hair. One of the most unique looking, and he's obviously one of Brazilian's best players, like ever. And now they're gonna get fake passports and now try and travel across into Paraguay so they can go and party. Great manager you've got there, great manager. You're making Del Boy look fucking shrewd now.
Tried to enter Paraguay, Border Protection obviously noticed him instantly, placing Ronaldinho in jail awaiting trial.
Oh, you bet your bottom dollar he got stopped at customs. It don't take Sherlock bloody Holmes to see Ronaldinho coming through, does it?
Imagine not only being one of the most famous footballers in the world, but also one of the most unique looking ones, and trying to use a fake passport in South America. Bravo, Ronnie, but wait, it still gets dumber. It is unclear why the former footballer entered Paraguay using the passport, considering Brazilians can enter the neighboring country using their national ID card. Basically, Ronaldinho could have gone to Paraguay without using a passport at all.
Stop it. So it turned out he didn't even need a passport to travel into Paraguay. Not only that, he's got fake passports to travel to Paraguay illegally, and he didn't need that. All he needed was his driving license, and he could have travelled into Paraguay legitly. My God, this is calamity central.
He was therefore even roasted by his own lawyer. Ronaldinho wasn't aware that he was committing a crime because he didn't know they were fake documents. He's stupid.
I mean, even his own lawyer's calling him a dumbass, saying he's stupid. Now they're putting out the crazy card. Like, the only way we're going to get off prison time, you know, if we say you're crazy, they might throw you in a mental house for half an hour, but you won't go prison for 6 months, you know. I mean, your whole life's been a mental fucking house, do you know what I mean? Absolute mental. But, you know, yeah, it didn't work. He ended up going to prison for 6 months. Ronaldinho, you are the gift that keeps on giving. But I'm still always going to say, footballing wise, you're a legend.
Was because an investigation into their bank accounts revealed a balance of just 24.63 Brazilian real, or $6.59.
Oh yeah, his bank accounts got investigated. It turns out he ain't got 90 million in there no more, mate. He's got $6.53. So what do you do when you've just been, you know, living a great lavish lifestyle and you ain't got no more money to live it? What do you do? Like a lot of these YouTube scammers, KSI, you go into cryptocurrency.
Ronaldinho denies part in alleged 61 million crypto scam at congressional hearing. After the crypto inevitably turned out to be a scam, Ronaldinho was brought before the government, although he claimed he was never partnered with the company and it used his name and image without his authorization, arguing he was also a victim of the purported scheme.
My name's Ronaldinho, and every time I do something criminal, I play stupid. I'm as stupid as a stupid does. In the famous words of Forrest Gump. I mean, yeah, he seems to just play stupid every time he's up to something dodgy. I mean, here now, you know, it's just like everyone else, isn't it? When all shit fails, where do they turn? To fucking crypto. Something needs to be done about this, I tell you, because everyone turns to crypto. Logan Paul, KSI, you know. So fuck me sideways. Yeah, he just plays stupid. Anyway, yeah, I mean, he was promoting a coin that promised 2% profit every day. It turns out it was bollocks. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and say like what he's done is right. All that criminal stuff, promoting cryptos, trying to get into foreign countries, using fake passports when he didn't have to. He could have used his driving license. You're not paying this tax and that tax. I ain't going to condone all that and whatever. But I will say, Ronaldinho, I'm so privileged to watch you play football because you are one of the best players I've ever seen. Like I said at the start, you put the jogger in Jogger Benito. You made football beautiful. You played with the biggest smile on your face when you were on that turf. It's when you were off the pitch, it went downhill for you. You should have continued to stay on that pitch because that's where you looked the happiest. And everything else, I don't know, mate. I didn't know it was that bad for you, to be honest. Right, I'm going to call it a day on that one. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And yeah, have a good night.